Welcome back to my channel. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So dear brothers and sisters, in this video I want to talk something very interesting about the coming of the Mahdi. Why I'm making this video, why I'm talking about this. In the past we have seen how these signs are coming clearer and clearer every single day. Today I read something that made me to actually talk about this more in details, and that is the smoke. Now the smoke, the coming of the Mahdi, Dajjal, Yajuj and Majuj, these are all interrelated. You cannot separate one from the other. These are chains of events that will take place at the end of time, and this is why it is important for us every time we see something of that sort, something related with these topics pop up, we need to talk about this. We need to focus on it. So what happened this time? Why I'm making this video? What is it that I want to share with you? I want to share with you something very interesting, very important. But before I do that, I want you to consider to subscribe to this channel, because we talk about the end of time, the coming of the Mahdi, Dajjal, Yajuj and Majuj in this channel. So again, consider to subscribe. And if you have any comment, let me see if I have anything right now. I do not have anything. If you have any comment, leave a comment and I will inshallah respond to your comments. Number one thing that I want to make mention of is that this news, okay, take a look at this. Now this is coming from Medvedev. He said basically about the smoke. Okay, we talk about this smoke. Obviously when the Quran talks about the smoke, it is the dukhan. It refers to the supernatural event that will take place. It is not the nuclear explosion or nuclear war. It is not about that, none of that, but it is a supernatural event. So Medvedev, nevertheless, he did talk about the smoke. He did talk, I mean, every time Russia comes out with a statement, they include that smoke, they include the nuclear weapon and whatnot. So he said in today's news, as you can see right behind me, Medvedev, he said nuclear accidents can happen in Europe too. Nuclear accidents can happen in Europe too. Means in Europe you might see a accident that would make all of you guys to see how devastating it would be for the humanity, and this will happen by accident, according to this guy. Russian ex-president Medvedev has issued a veiled threat to Ukraine's Western allies. Okay, this is not a prediction, this is actually a threat. There is a difference between a prediction and a threat. Prediction is mean it can happen, but threat means I'm gonna make it happen, or we can make it happen, or it is possible it will happen because what you guys are doing. So Russian president, he said that Western allies do not mess up with us. Now US, believe it or not, they have spent $50 billion for Ukraine war, and this 50 billion is a aid for the military and also for the government, the Ukrainian government, and also for humanitarian thing, whatever they say it, right? This much money, it shows how heavily they are involved and how willing they are to defeat Russia. Even though Russia doing pretty well, we know the party that is losing is the Ukrainian government, and also US is spending all this money is going to waste. They're just prolonging the defeat of Ukraine, nothing else, I can tell you. So he said, Medvedev, he said now that look, you guys are messing up with us, and we are actually going to be ready to strike you, even if that means with a nuclear weapon. Now you guys can actually make a wrong decision, make a wrong judgment, and end up having a nuclear accident. So when we talk about the Mahdi, dear and sisters, as I said in the beginning of this video, it is interrelated. When we see nuclear explosion taking place, we would also see at the same time the end of human civilization. Why it is important, I mean in the sense of end of time, is because once that will happen, once we will all be perished, then will come the age of the actual end of time, the Mahdi, Dajjal, all of it. A lot of you have agreed with me on this. I don't think anybody disagreed when I said the end of time will take place only after a major war, and that would be WW3. And also, as I said, there is always a possibility there will be a WW4, who knows. But the point here is that there will be a malhama before the actual coming of the Mahdi, Dajjal, Yajuj and Majuj, like the malhama you are seeing right behind me, the helicopters. Every single day we are inching closer to that malhama, and this is exactly what we find on the news at the same time. So they, Kiev and its allies, say it's Russia. That's obviously 100% nonsense. Wow. Even for the stupid Russophobic public, Medvedev, now the deputy chairman of Russia's Security Council, wrote on his instant messenger telegram channel on Friday. So Medvedev, in the past we have seen him a lot of, he was very lenient. His rhetoric was very lenient. It wasn't that harsh. But what we are seeing now is a new Medvedev, and the reason for that, according to expert, is because he is going to be actually running for president after Putin. Okay, his hopes are very high that he will be the next president, and now he sees the only way he can actually become a president or a leader for Russia is by attacking the West verbally, obviously, with his rhetoric, harsh rhetoric, warnings to the rest of the world that don't mess up with Russia. But before, it was exactly opposite. Before, it was like, yeah, reconciling with the West, doing this, doing that. So the point here is that Russia now knows that there is no way to get out of this situation of NATO establishing the bases close to Russian border except through war. Now this war, I'm not saying will take place in the form of WW3, but war is already happening in many parts of that region in a minuscule way. This war you're seeing in Ukraine is nothing, but this war, these conflicts, they have the potential to spill over and blow up the entire world. This is what I'm saying. And so we are now living in a time when the West believes Russia is enemy and Russia believes West is the enemy. That was not the case before. Before, they did not get along on a lot of issues, but at the same times they were emphasizing on the similarities. Now no more similarities. You are my enemy, I'm your enemy. So where do you think it goes? Who can come and reconcile between US and Russia? Nobody, right? Nobody. There is no third superpower. I mean, if Angela Merkel, German chancellor, she was in power, maybe she could have done something about it, but she is not there anymore. Therefore, there is nobody to actually make peace between these two countries. And when you have a vacuum, okay, left of, a vacuum that is building up with a lot of hatred, animosity, harsh rhetoric, supplying weapon, it doesn't give, it doesn't do any good to anybody. It actually will eventually become very, very toxic. The relationship they already have is very, very toxic. And so when we talk about the coming of the Mahdi, it is just a matter of time that the irony is that we will have to go to war, even though always we want to do is to avoid the war, but nevertheless this is exactly where we're heading. And I mean, this is, subhanallah, what this Medvedev guy is saying, that look, Kiev, he considers Kiev to be his enemy, and the people, the countries that are supporting them are their allies. They say it happens purely by chance, like we did not mean to. He added, what can I say? Let's not forget that the European Union also has nuclear power plants, and accidents can happen there too. So don't blame us, don't blame Russia or our operation in Ukraine, saying, oh, we are reckless in terms of how we are dealing with these nuclear plants. It can also happen in your country. You might have nuclear, all of these plants getting out of control, and eventually destroying your own countries in Europe. This is exactly what he is referring to. So when we talk about the coming of the Mahdi, Dajjal, end of time, we have to talk about and discuss these issues at the same time, because otherwise we will not be able to see the real picture, what is happening right now. Tiger, is this true? I'm not sure what you mean. What do you mean? You can just leave a comment and let me know what you mean by that. Is this true? What is true? Yes, a smoke is gonna come, is gonna happen. That is true. I do not know if that will answer your question. Guys, leave a comment in the comment section below, and I will be seeing you in the next video. Have a wonderful day.